Well, welcome back, y'all. So, today, I'm doing some other things. Ooh, what's that there? I didn't record me fixing the axles just because you get... Look, I still have CV grease on me. Like, you can't get rid of it. That's just... Yeah, anyways. So, it just gets everywhere. I can't pull my phone out and record, and is what it is. But I ended up... I actually broke both sides, which... the stub shaft that goes in that side was like cracked and it was starting to twist. It was about to pop, so... But that's done. We're moving on to fixing our little janky deal we got going on here with the fenders, which... We got Overfenders. Overfenders that are... not for a Miata. So these are for a BRZ 86 FRS, whatever you want to call it, and they're gonna get modified to fit on here. It's not gonna look perfect exactly, but I have to cut that fender and it's gonna have that cool little looking deal right there, but I just gotta play with it and see where it's gonna end up at. But it's gonna end up on here and it's gonna look cool. I'm not really too worried about the fronts. It's got those little corner pieces too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those yet, but the rear is the main part, and that's gonna work out nice. So obviously I gotta trim that line down for the door, and I'm just gonna take my heat gun and kind of mold it to it as I go. For right now, I'm probably, well, not probably, I'm going to use these self tappers and then just get it where I want it. And because I feel like it'd just be easier while I'm playing with the heat gun and whatnot. And then after I get it where it needs to be, then I'll use those riv nuts and I'll drill the hole. It's going to be smaller than the hole I'm going to need, and then I'll drill it out and put the riv nuts in. So the other side is going to be a little harder. We're going to get to that here in a little bit, but the other one has a hole for the gas tank, and I'll get to my plan of what I'm going to do there. But I got an idea, and it's going to work. Well, a couple cuts and a few self-tappers so far, and it's looking pretty good. It's not bad. So I'm just going to kind of go and hit it with the heat gun, which the heat gun's really not doing much. I don't think I really need to that much. There's like a piece of plastic back here, and I left that on there. It's kind of helping me. So like when I push this down, it's kind of flaring that part out. And it's a pretty solid line, dude. Like, that doesn't look bad at all. It's gonna have gaps in between it. It is what it is. This is cheap plastic. I can run, another screw in there, riv nut, whatever I end up doing. I don't have too many, but at the same time, I could always mold this too, but who knows how permanent it'll actually be. The only thing is I had to cut in here, which it's touching a little bit. So I'm thinking of a way if I could put something back there to just kind of just bring that out just a little bit. It would look better too. I'll have to come up with something for that. I don't know exactly what I would do yet, but I'm sure I have options here. If I could if I swung it, if I swung this whole thing down a little bit, that would have been great. But I don't know if it's too late to do all that. I would have to bring that out. I think I'm kind of where I'm at, but it's looking pretty good where it's at now, so I might just work around that. If I have to trim that a little more, that's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be out. I don't know. Hopefully it'll fix itself. We'll see. Because it looked good a minute ago, and like it was going to clear, and then I don't know what happened. Something happened, but I'm just going to play with it a little bit more. Keep going on it. Okay, so bear with me here. So I am horrible at anything that has to do with body work. If it's a body part, I suck at it. So I kind of just heated this up and pressed on it. I pressed a little too hard with that glorified rag over there and kind of fucked it up a little bit, but it's okay. That's not that big of a deal. It can be fixed. But right here I took the heat gun to it. So I was trying to pull this out and then heat it up here, and I kind of fucked it up. But this can be fixed, because this side is on, and I've kind of figured the heat gun out a little bit, but basically I can fix the other side. What I've been doing is just heating it up, and I'm taking this empty brake clean can and I'm just kind of rolling and pushing with it and then letting it cool down. And I've got this in here holding the fender out. I took it for a drive with that one fender on earlier, and it rubbed a little bit, but like I got a little bit of a gap there, and if I put some bolts in like up here, it's gonna pull it a little more. So I think that's like good to go. That shouldn't hit. I don't think it will, but yeah, I just gotta keep playing with it, and it looks good, kind of. But then I look at it from another angle, and then I see it doesn't look good. So I don't know. I just gotta play with it some more and try to make it look better, and I'll have to mess with the other side. But it's not bad. I mean, it's better than the chopped up fenders. I'm just not spending, however much they want for them fucking Miata Overfenders. Like the cheapest one's like $1,000, and they suck. And they're from China, and it takes like 2 months to get, or longer, I think. Anyways, so we got this. We're gonna have to come up with a piece of plastic to put here, and I'll plastic weld it in there. We'll see how that all goes, but I mean, it don't look bad. It looks better than it did, I think. At least they fit pretty well. I kind of got them. They're not completely even. I don't know. You can look at it from the back and see like one's a little lower than the other, but you won't really notice. It's not that far off, and it's not far off enough to really tell. So I don't think people, well, who cares? They nitpick, fuck them. Most people stare at the engine bay for the most part, and if I go fast enough, nobody will ever tell. So I just gotta mess with that. I'm gonna play around with blending them and shit, and I'll put the thing in there and pull that out and try to pull that out. It kind of worked on the other side. I just gotta make it look better. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm gonna put the fronts on too. Might as well, right? I don't really need them, but I'll probably cut this out a little bit and then put like another 1/2 inch spacer on there. It's I got extended studs, so I've got 12 mil on there right now. I could put like another one on, or just get like a 1 inch or whatever it is and pull it out a little bit. And then you have to cut the fenders out right here, and for that little thing, I think it'll look cool. I don't know. I'm probably gonna try it. I mean, the fenders are fucked up to begin with, so who really cares? Worst case scenario, I just throw another set of fenders on. I'm gonna try it, but not today. We'll get into that in the next segment here, or well, the next clip won't be that. The next clip will be like, hopefully it's gonna be like, hey look, I fixed this and it looks good now, so check it out. Well, that's a thing. We'll mess with those in a little bit. I want to get the fronts on and see what it looks like. So yeah, I just cut it out, and it fits on there pretty nice. You won't really see it till I bolt it down. Let me do that real quick. That honestly does not really look that bad. I mean, of course, you're not gonna have the exact body lines and everything, but I mean, dude, considering this is not for this car anywhere remotely close, I really don't look bad. I like it. Hopefully it looks better with the rib nuts. I don't know, because I mean, when I put the rib nuts in, it's gonna pull this off of the body some more. So I'm debating how I'm gonna do this. I might have to put the rib nuts in and then hit it with the heat gun and push it down. We'll see how it goes though. I'm gonna just play with it. And I mean, as far as like measuring it out, I'm just kind of getting after it. Just hitting it with a Sharpie real quick and then cutting stuff out. That's about it. And it's on there pretty nice. The front, you really don't even have to do much to. There was a little piece right here. That little piece, I cut off the edge to make it sit flat in front. And I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of bending, but I didn't have to hit this one with the heat gun or anything. So I'll probably just measure this front screw over here, the distance from where I put it on the other side to the corner, and then put it there. That's where I started, was with this one right here, and just kind of, I did that one and then that one, and just kind of went and just held it down and self-tapered it in. Pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna get that on, and then I'm gonna start working the rears again and try to fix where I screwed that up with the heat gun and make it look better than it currently does. Well, that's the goal. Well, this heat gun thing is not nearly as easy as it sounds. I kind of got the shape that I want. I got the fender where I want it. There's some gap there, but it's like bubbling out. So the only thing I could think of doing is like shape it to the general vicinity that it needs to be, and then I could probably take it off and heat it and sandwich it with like some metal or what, my hand, whatever, I don't know, but to try to flatten it out. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. I'm gonna probably just marinate on what I'm doing here before I keep doing stuff, but it doesn't look horrible. It looks pretty good. I obviously need to bring that wheel out a bit. I'm gonna have to put a spacer on it or something. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. And I am about to attempt to heat this side a little bit. Trying to match the other side. I really just need to get that off the tire a little bit more. And I'm probably, well, like I said, I'm just gonna take a break from this and kind of think about what I'm doing instead of just trying stuff. But I mean, for the most part, it looks all right. It's not too bad. Just gotta play with it. Considering it's not for this car, I think it looks pretty decent. So yeah, we'll be back with an update of what I figured out here shortly. So what I figured out, really, I didn't really figure anything out because I already knew that I wasn't great at body work. I honestly, I've had a lot of things going on and other issues with the car. I haven't really come back to this, so I haven't really figured out how to flatten this out. But I will say that this is just because I'm trying to fit these big tires. So if you want to do this to your Miata, you don't have to do it like this. I wouldn't recommend trying the heat gun unless you really know what you're doing. But on a regular Miata, you can take this and you can pull this piece all the way in because you're not going to need this big of a gap like I do. So, and then I got a piece of plastic to plastic weld some stuff in here, but I haven't got to that part yet. So that's yet to be determined. So this basically, I'm just gonna end this video here, and there will be a part 2 once I actually do figure out what I'm gonna do here, and I'm gonna make it look a lot better than it currently looks. But for the most part, that's just the basics of how you can put a BRZ Overfender kit from Amazon on a Miata. So it gives you a basic idea, and you can see how it can fit. And somebody can do this a lot better than I can. So I would like to see that happen. Maybe you can give me some ideas. Or if you got any ideas on how I can fix this or make this work or fix the part that I messed up with the heat gun, drop a comment, let me know. I am completely open to options here. So as always, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Later, y'all.